For me to sign my arrangement, I needed to take a seat at a table with Clive Davis, and I needed to take a gander at Cloud and express out loud, whatever do you contemplate this? And he was like, that is the point at which they marked the check. And afterward, I needed to hit up like a lot of gatherings with Claire Davis, as I didn't comprehend it was very much like individuals, that I didn't have the foggiest idea who they were, only a lot of like tycoons and extremely rich people in houses that didn't look genuine. Davis used to let me know, just you stand here with his arm on my shoulder and say don't move, that Clyde Davis. And that is where again Clyde Davis. I know a few people who work by and by with Clyde Davis, and they needed to leave them before they heard him. So I would agree that perhaps I'm off base, that on the off chance that you attempted it with them, folks, why you didn't attempt with him, right yet in all probability. And he never left. Klein appears as though today is the day we're at long last plunging into the universe of Hollywood embarrassments and filthy privileged insights. From wild gatherings to secret connections, this industry has seen everything. And with regards to music industry legends and record makers, Clive Davis takes the cake for his famous presence at probably the most unequivocal gatherings around. Reports have been circling for a really long time, yet the ugly truth is at last out in the open. Clive Davis and Diddy were sadly dating for more than 5 years. To discussing Diddy, this person has constructed a realm in the music business. Terrible Kid Records, you've certainly known about it. He's worked with huge names like the famous Large and Usher and his organization. Sort of progress apparently for the time being. Nevertheless, what's the genuine story behind the man himself? Puma Right is spilling the tea on Puff Daddy's tight grip on the business, his tremendous abundance. And in the middle between Locke and people, it's going to get delicious. I'll be moving around, you know. Yet he got that list, he got that index, and he's been bringing in cash off of it. And it purchased that monstrous chateau down the road from Assault Focal. We have a few succulent insights regarding the music business. Most sizzling embarrassment, how did a youthful craftsman skyrocket to distinction quickly? The response might lie in his cozy relationship with a music industry legend, Clyde Davis. Now Clyde Davis has made all in all a name for himself in the music world. Yet nowadays he's being discussed for something else altogether, his heartfelt endeavors. With 2 bombed relationships behind him, Clive set out on an excursion of self-revelation to see whether he was drawn to men. And it appears as though he's found something beyond his own inclinations. I opened up myself after the disappointment of my subsequent marriage, never having had anything with a man, to see might I at any point be drawn to the individual. Evidently, this entire soul looking through caused him to understand that he wasn't precisely, basically, as straight as he had envisioned himself to be for a considerable length of time of his life, Christian, and not the orientation. And I found that I was unable to be drawn to a man. Well, I actually am exceptionally drawn in. After Clyde had this acknowledgement, he concluded he was by then in his life where he needed to be with a man. Then in 1990, he went into a monogamous relationship with an anonymous male specialist. That relationship finished in 2005. Clive says he has never been embarrassed about being drawn to men. I never felt disgrace. No, I felt confounded. The subject of sexual openness actually needs significantly more conversation. A status in all actuality does exist following quite a while of reports and hypotheses. Incidentally, the secret man that Clyde Davis has been in a monogamous relationship with is, in all honesty, the renowned music magnate Diddy. It's a well-known fact that the music business is brimming with wild stories, yet this one takes the cake. P. Diddy, referred to as Puff Daddy, known as Scene Brushes, supposedly in 1994 scene searches mentioned offering sexual courtesies to Clive Davis. So Terrible Kid Records Clyde has been hitched and separated from 2 times and chose to investigate his fascination with men. He then, at that point, entered a relationship with a secret man that has endured right up till now in spite of going to occasions And venturing out together, Klein wouldn't uncover his accomplice's character anyway. It didn't take long for individuals to assemble the pieces and understand that Diddy was the man being referred to. That being said, in the event that you focus on a ton of pictures, particularly about Clive and Diddy, is in a ton of spots that, while going to similar occasions and being dear companions, probably won't be sufficient to affirm a relationship the way that both Clive and Diddy are transparently gay and have been spotted together so frequently says a lot. Obviously, the two have had a unique association for a really long time, and it's captivating to envision what their relationship might have meant for Diddy's ascent to distinction in the music business. They've been close for various years. Diddy originally came around him in the mid-90s, close to the opportunity, to when he entered one more relationship with an anonymous male. It's an obvious fact that Diddy and Clive have been tight for a really long time, with Clive in a serious relationship with a man. In Diddy's mysterious gay bits of gossip, the possibilities of the two being a thing are higher than sneak homie at a weed celebration. Everything's considerably more saying is that Clive is exceptionally open about his sexuality and connections, yet he's never denied the reports. And Diddy, well, he's simply been radio quiet overall thing. Diddy was only a 23-year-old hopeful craftsman when he met the unbelievable Clive Davis in this present reality, where vicious contest is the standard. Did he figure out how to dazzle Clive with his hip jump thoughts? Clive reviews their most memorable gathering and how he was on the chase after a craftsman who could genuinely associate with individuals. Fortunate for him, he found precisely exact thing he was searching for in Diddy. Fractious was 23 years of age, and I knew the craftsman that I had. Aretha Day and Whitney was one sort of music. Davis says LaFay introduced blue nabbed R&B at its level, yet detecting the hip bounce unrest. Both lay, and I concurred that we could utilize somebody truly sensitive to the road. You must understand how you can help yourself, and you must know when you really want to focus on others. As per reports, Diddy worked under Andrew Corridor at the time in Uptown Records, yet things immediately took another course for him. When he met Clive Davis, he figured out how to dazzle Clyde with his words, as Clive reviews. When I met with Puffy, he enunciated that hip jump ought to be essential for the main 40 standard dream, and that the business would change from now on. And I got out, whatever have you got to delineate that point? And he played me Make Max Slumping in Your Ear. And he played me that then a known craftsman that he felt and accepted so emphatically. He played me 4 or 5 cuts from Famous Heat. This was apparently all that could possibly be needed to offer it his vision to Clive, as he promptly let Diddy know that had made his statement. I said, "Oak, you made your statement." That is the point at which I acquainted him with a week after week what we assembled singles conferences. I acquainted him with a chief there as somebody who might assist with driving us to the road and offer in the impending hip jump transformation. Hang on a subsequent, we should slow down these shameful claims. It's a well-known fact that Clive Davis has become well-known in the music business. Yet what might be said about his own life? Well, in the wake of being hitched and separated from 2 times, he chose to investigate his sexuality and check whether he was drawn to men. And think about who he wound up in a drawn-out, monogamous relationship with. In all honesty, Diddy himself, these there are a ton of stories, not tales, stories circumventing about Clive Davis purportedly laying down with men, that he was purportedly having rent young men, that a ton of the specialists that didn't make it the entire way to like a feature or two now. A few people have been estimating for a really long time about how could he became famous in the business so rapidly that with affirmation of his relationship with Clyde, it's not difficult to see the reason why some could think there was something beyond an expert association between the two, truly marking an arrangement that he had sexual movement with these individuals before either dropping them or never marking them. In any case, more so of involving them for sexual. Clive has been open about his sexuality and connections. And however, the tales about him and Diddy have been twirling for some time. He's never absolutely denied them. And did he? Well, he's never tended to the reports himself, possibly. It is actually the case that Clyde has been known to engage with anticipated craftsmen and proposition them a shot at fame. Yet we should not rush to make judgment calls about his thought processes in working with Diddy. After all, Clyde helped Diddy set up his own record name, Awful Kid Records, and surprisingly kept on subsidizing it for quite a long time. And sure, there have been a few murmurs regarding Diddy's own sexuality. Yet until he stands up against it himself is all hypothesis, and Tupac resembled a couple seemed like to me. It was only a ton of odd going on, you understand what I'm talking about. This was only one of the numerous episodes where Diddy straightforwardly acted gay. Even his previous Guardian quality arrangement had in excess of a couple of entertaining accounts of his own about Diddy's gay exercises. All at once he saw Diddy and another rapper leave the room in only their towels, puffing J Preclude. Runs the room. Puff landed his tiled position, snatching his towel. Yet they bust the stripped, obviously titty. Wasn't in any way, shape, or form worried about quality learning, about his sexuality. He was like he just slipped. Puff took a gander at Jaw. You say, Yo Johnson, you ain't have any desire to go in that room, cause a ton of freakers, continuing even after his ex Kim Watchman's demise. As per the previous Guardian, Diddy got with whichever man or lady he needed. While being hitched to Kimma, he was with each chick, each man, whoever he needed to be with. When Kim was alive, Diddy isn't one to keep down with regards to chasing after male craftsmen and rappers. As a matter of fact, he once made a pass at 50 penny. Yet the rapper wasn't having it. Since women wedding, he advised me to take me shopping. I saw him like, what did you say? Anyone see converse with me like it's me, man. Let me truly do some blood, like a little fleecy stuff as per sources. Diddy welcomed 50 penny for a shopping binge, yet the rapper immediately saw through the perch and declined the proposition. It appears as though Diddy's advances were restricted to only 50 penny. Asher has likewise shared some eyebrow-raising tales about his time at Diddy's home Puffy Flavor camp. There you go to learn something, definitely. That is what it was called. We're extremely inquisitive things occurring, And I didn't be guaranteed to comprehend during his meeting. Usher uncovered that he had begun getting presented to sex medications and blowouts ready from when he was only a teen of 14 years one time. While Diddy was apparently tanked, he coincidentally referenced awakening close to Usher some time ago, when he was like 10. And I was somewhat more established, his more established sibling. We used to battle about the over-the-ice drops to a ton of fans. The conviction is that Diddy needed to get into this relationship with Clive. For his profession, Len composed scene. Diddy brushes was given his terrible kid on paper by Aristus Clive Davis, who is transparently gay. How scene needed to help wealth is entirely expected for fruitful people of color in diversion and governmental issues. Generally, that sparkles isn't gold. Come out on top in your race. Let the following man run as others feel that simply the way that Diddy hasn't tended to the gossipy tidbits about him being gay for a really long time is proof an adequate number of that they are valid. On the off chance that they weren't, he would have leaped to refute them. Diddy is hard of hearing. Gay Olympia particle. No developed straight man that won't address a gay talk that has been circling for a really long time. What makes this story, with exciting bends in the road, much more astonishing, is the way that Diddy has made it a point clear up reports in regards to him and different ladies over the course of the years rather rapidly. And the fans additionally concur when tweeted exactly the same thing, saying Diddy has cleared up the side chick guarantees, yet presently can't seem to clear the gay reports. Diddy and Clyde's relationship has been pushing ahead for a really long time, yet they appear to be shifty with regards to uncovering their actual status by their activities and ways of behaving. Say a lot, practically ruling out uncertainty. That is all there is to it for now, people. Until next time, farewell.